Hey, folks, Lyarri here with another interview. I'm here with LeoLeon 500.
Yeah,
Uh, his mic cut off, but that was really exciting. um, Hope he's okay.
it's all good.
All right, that's good. So, unfortunately, I was a bad interviewer and not ask if he had a webcam. So instead, we have his dog named Nico. Cute
Let's
dog.
go.
Yeah, and so I feel like you were one of the players that I was really excited to interview because you've played since like alpha, right? Um,
Yeah, quite an old player.
Yeah. And not only that, but like you've been at the top of the game since alpha pretty much.
Yeah, some would argue.
Yeah, some would argue. And something I think is really interesting about you is like you're also like in grad school, right?
Yes, I am in grad school. It's for like the last year I've been in grad
Okay.
school.
And you're working towards a psychology PhD, right?
I'm working towards a master's.
Masters.
PhD,
Okay.
if the government wants to fund that or my school wants to fund that, then I am a-okay with doing a PhD. But for now, I will be doing my master's.
That makes sense. And so you also have a background in Overwatch, kind of
Yep.
tackling a bunch of things, rapid fire shooting. Um,
Yeah.
so for you, like, what is like your background? Like, where does LeoLeon come from? You've come
Where'd
from
I come
Overwatch.
from?
Any other games?
So I'd say competitively, well, in terms of like doing tournaments and stuff,
Yeah.
League of Legends. I like a lot of a good chunk of my like tournament stuff comes from college, and in college I joined my league team. We are but I'm not gonna lie, we sucked. But yeah,
Okay.
that was like my first foot into like, doing scrims, like getting a coach, like figuring out macro and micro, figuring out how to like improve as a player. All that stuff came from like my time in league in my 2 year college, and then moving to Overwatch towards the end of my 2 year college, and then doing Overwatch up until now with like OS. It's been pretty much that. But like before that, I mean, just like playing with my friends and family, just like playing Super Smash Bros. Melee, playing like, I don't know, like Kirby Air Riders, just like messing around with a bunch of multiplayer games with my family, and then them just like, yo, you're good at games. Like, you should see if you could do something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good at games because you guys have lives and like do things that aren't playing games.
That,
But yeah,
sometimes having time helps.
yeah, having time helps a lot.
So were you into like single player games at all, or was it always like the more competitive multiplayer games that you were really into?
Up until I like sadly found League in middle school, it was
Okay.
like all single player games, which is like, man, I'm trying to think. I started off with Pokemon. My brother like gave me Pokemon Silver on like the Game Boy. He's like, here, play this. I don't feel like playing this anymore. I'm like, okay. Or like playing like Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi
How,
or
are you
like
playing
Sly
Sparking
Cooper,
Zero?
like I can't play Sparking Zero right now because if I do, I'm literally not gonna play with Mega Strikers or Overwatch. I need to like restrain myself from playing that game, but I really, really do
Respect.
want to play that game really badly.
Okay. But yeah, I mean that's sick. I think it's really neat. Like Kirby Air Ride, Smash Bros. Those are my childhood games in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
We're around the same age. We're both one of the
yeah,
older Omega, some of the older Omega Strikers players. Um, so I guess something else I wanted to ask, like, what makes you so passionate about psychology that like you're pursuing a master's in it, and does it help you with Omega Strikers?
yeah. Let's see. Well, for anyone who like knows a lot about like the psychology, like the big like people who do a lot of research and shit in psychology, is that they usually have like a messed up past. So I won't do
Okay.
that into this interview. I'm not gonna spill all my shit.
You
But
can. I'll be your shoulder.
I can't. No, I mean I'm good. I'm good now. I'm older
Okay.
now. I've already gone through it. But yeah, it's just like family life and like shit happens when you're young and you don't know how to deal with it. So from that, like psychology was interesting, and then moving more towards like its benefits and like Omega Strikers or like esports is just like motivation and like understanding how people think. So I like I like not figuring people out, but understanding motives and understanding why people do the things that they do, for good or bad. And it's fun. It's fun, and then like seeing people change for the better. Like I coach a lot. Like I coach Overwatch a fair bit. I coach Omega Strikers with GMU or like players who DM me and like ask for advice. Like I'm pretty open when it comes to stuff like that. And seeing people change for the better has always been like one of my favorite things. Like in like esports and in competitiveness and like in life in general, just like seeing someone grow is dope. Seeing someone grow is so cool.
That I agree with. And I think, okay, so that's really interesting to me, right? And I guess that's how I'll transition to Omega Strikers more. I feel like you're someone who, over time, like you're still involved in the community in your own ways, but
Yeah.
overall, like you're a busy guy.
Yeah, I'm a lurker and a busy guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a lurker, a busy guy. How like nowadays do you stay like involved? Like, I guess in the know. Like, how do you find teammates nowadays?
Oh man, that is a issue as old as time for me. I
Okay.
think pretty much every single one of my teams, except for Quest Esports, a throwback, was people coming to me because like I won't lie, I as much as I do love this community, I love this game. Like I just don't have enough time, or I guess like the is the social want the right word? That kind of seems messed up.
It's just
I just
I
don't interact with the community as much as I feel like I should. And, you know, people usually come to me for things. Whereas
yeah.
like in Quest, it's like I already knew Hamster Quest for a while because I coached one of his school's Overwatch teams. Like I coached like his like C or D team, and then I like we're kind of like neutrals from there. And then we both got into a Mega Strikers and we made a team. Yada yada. But like Light was just because we went against them. I mean, I don't know what tournament it was, but like I went against them and they're like, yo, this Leo guy's really good. We should pick him up. And then
And
Cow, pretty much the same thing. Yes,
Light
Light.
was you already lose and Corey, right?
Yep. Corey Taramina, the GOAT.
And sorry, in case people watching didn't know, but
Yeah, sorry,
continue.
old man. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like Light and Cow stuff. Now we're here.
Yeah.
So like pretty much everyone's always hit me up first. I've never really gone to anyone because most of the time, a lot of the really good teams have like stayed together for a really long time or already have like a prospect in mind, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just VOD reviews help a lot to stay in the know and like being in like the super secret exclusive high elo servers that everyone's so
Oh,
mysterious, these high elo servers. They're like just
yeah.
seeing the screenshots, oh my god, these guys are running this, or like these guys are saying this is strong, I should play. Or like, VODs are always a good way, the good old Bells VODs.
Oh, like NXCD.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big Bells fan.
Oh, I see. So, okay. And something like fun fact about you, right? You started as a goalie in Alpha.
Oh god, yes.
Been a brawler
I
ever
was a
since.
goalie. Yeah, there's a kind of a funny story to that. So it was Hamster Quest, Zap Pat, which was our old third, who was also one of my old Overwatch teammates slash coaches. Um I was playing Atlas goalie or like Dubu goalie, and they were playing midfield forward. And I was like, guys, it can't be this hard to score. Like I'm giving you guys the rock. The rock is getting procured and saved. So like I got to figure out how to help you guys score. So then I picked brawler, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is kind of fun. I kind of want to play brawler. And then they swapped to goalie for me. So I kind of egoed them a little bit. It was originally to like give them advice, but I just really really liked playing brawler.
That
So
goes
yeah,
hard. You had to take the core into your own hands.
dude, I had to.
So, okay. I feel like I'll lightly touch on your beta stuff a bit. You were on Quest Esports, like you mentioned, and I mean, you were one of the successful teams in beta, near the top. You
Hmm.
weren't always able to like beat that ladder, that like hill of like Orbits and
Yep.
Bond's team towards the end.
Yep.
Um, how like how was transitioning from beta to launch and like adjusting to the game? like because it
Mm.
changed a lot, especially since
Yeah,
alpha.
it changed a good bit. I think a lot of it was well, thankfully X was in a pretty good spot
Yeah.
during launch, so
Okay.
I wasn't too pressed. Like a lot of it, from what I remember, was just figuring out awakening stuff and making sure that we had a good understanding of what was weak and what was strong for our like one or two characters. Um, and I just being hopeful, like Omega Strikers, like being a part of it from like a decent early on production. I was kind of like I liked that the devs were like taking our opinions into consideration for some things, or like we had a back and forth, like we had a good
Yeah.
conversation with devs, like every other week. Like everyone was so excited to play the game. Like the community was really, really excited for what Omega Strikers was going to be, and like launch with like the trigger animation and like all these ads everywhere, like being
Yeah.
on like the Nintendo ad, like the Nintendo Direct. Like my friends who like had no idea what Omega Strikers was like, "Yo, like, is this the game that you play?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's me. That's the character I play. Look."
Whoa.
But I was pretty hopeful going into launch. I was pretty happy with where everything was going, but now we're here, still playing. So
Still a
it's
community.
chill. Still community. Yeah,
Um, so yeah, launch. And so early on in launch, and you end up going to Light. And Light was like one of the really successful launch teams.
Mhm.
At LAN, you ended up CECC. I think you got second. And then in NASL season one, you had a really tough regular season. Um,
Yeah,
Kind of gate kept me from playoffs and got playoffs yourself.
yeah.
And from there, you like won. Like it was like crazy. How was that? Like preparing for playoffs and kind of turning it up towards the end of the season.
Oh yes, the ancient text.
Yeah,
I think a lot of our so to like dial it back to CCC, where we first met, by the
yeah,
way. We're having a fun time
that's
chatting
right.
behind the game, all the games. Um, yeah, like we we were like pretty bummed that we lost. I know afterwards, like we're all happy because like Sad Boys and us were all in the same B&B. So like at the end of the day, we're all homies, but we were pretty upset that we lost. And then going into the season, we're like, we just need to try things out and figure out what can like stick. So like I think Corey played a different pick every match. Or like we like every time we scrimmed, we made sure we played different picks to figure out what stuck. I think Caleb was pretty comfy with like Amy, Kai, Dubu, if I remember correctly,
Still known
was
for
like
all those
his three.
picks.
Yeah, for real, yeah, still known for all those picks. And then we had Corey like play Vice, play like Estelle, or like just play like really weird combos of like Era, or like even I think we had him play like Rasmus once.
Hmm.
Like we had fun with like Caleb going like Rune or whatever. Like we just kept trying a bunch of different things to figure out what worked. So like that's why regular season was really rocky. Because like a lot of it was just us limit testing. Because we were pretty confident that we can make playoffs. We just wanted to, obviously if we could make playoffs, safely, then we would have, but we didn't have a good understanding of what our team could do. And then yeah, we like had a good grasp of what our strengths were going into playoffs, and from playoffs there it's just a movie, I guess.
Yeah, and there's literally like a you. I think Corey made like a montage.
Yes.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, I I'm still in the process of making one too. I know Corey's so upset with me over it because it's been like 2 years or something. I have so many clips because I have like our scrim clips or like our match clips. So, like you can hear like our audio of us popping off and stuff during the games, and scrubbing through all that footage and scrubbing through like the actual playoff games or just the games in general is just a lot. Because I have stuff from like the. Oh man, what's the like the tournament that was right after launch, the
Um.
something brawlers.
Oh, Brawl Star. Wait,
Brawl Stars,
uh,
yeah. It's like I have Brawl Stars footage somewhere in my computer
wasn't
scrubbing
that
through
the
all that.
pre-launch tournament?
Oh yeah, you're right. The pre-launch tournament. You're
Yeah,
right, you're
that
right.
was my highest place. Actually, second highest place in goalie performance. Sorry.
There you go.
um,
Yeah, so I have like old footage from that. And just scrubbing through all that stuff is quite a lot of work when, I'm already kind of busy.
why does he still have it saved?
Yeah, I record a lot of our scrims. Now uploading is a different story, but I have a lot of like just stuff banked like in the deep bowels of my folders.
See. So okay, ended up winning NASL. Exciting hype. Video on the way.
Woo!
Um,
Not least. Yeah.
and from there, the next season. What happened? Oh, you were on Cow.
Yeah, I was on Cal.
Yeah. So the next season, you go to Core Overflow. You're with. I want to say you started off with Slop and Joker, right?
The season 2 was Streak and Eel. That was like when it was like
Oh,
actual like it was like the actual Cal guys.
yeah.
Because I was replacing Ant Overflow.
Yeah. Okay.
And then man, I feel so bad I can't remember who we picked up. But like I know we picked up like three other people
Oh,
and we
one of
played
them
with
was
them.
Hungry Boy
Yes, Hungry
and
Boy,
Shetty,
right.
I think.
Yes. Yeah, they're the Amy players. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. because who did we go against? We went against someone on like an Oni Village game, and we like barely lost, and I was a bit
Oh,
upset. Maybe it was Joker. I think it was
I know you
Joker's team.
gapped me on a Noni Village game, so it wasn't me. Um, okay, so how was like fitting into this team environment where like you're with two players who have played with one person, one of them is literally one of the players' brother for so
Yeah,
long?
it was pretty chill. I think we all had a lot of good mutual respect for each other. Like everyone pretty much being like a pre-alpha player or like an old player. We all really we knew each other's names and we knew each other's skills. So we went into the season pretty confident. It was just more so about getting Elo used to midfield and like just getting everyone used to like how like what I brought to the table because I would still say to this day I'm definitely one of the more weirder brawler players like playing wise. I don't think people usually play the way I do. I play like a little rat. I don't know. I play weird
And a lot
from
of
what people have
brawlers are
told me.
rats. You're just a unique kind of rat.
Yeah, I'm just a unique rat.
Um, so for Overflow, like, you guys did pretty well if I remember correctly. Like solid
We got
regular.
like
Okay.
third or something. Yeah, we're good regular season. We got like seated somewhere in the top four. I think that was that the season with like the weird scandal, or was that season
No, I
three? I
think that was the
forgot.
season app. The one with like
It-
Demons Raw and
yeah,
Sad Boys.
yeah.
That was the
Okay,
season
that was the
after.
next season. Yeah,
We'll talk about that when we get there.
yeah.
Okay. So solid season, you end up basically like taking over overflow after it. Um
Yeah, pretty much. And I was okay with it since we kept our slot, but I really wanted to keep like the core members there because like is it really core overflow if it's not like with streak elo or in overflow, right?
sense.
So yeah, we kept the slot and then we had Slob Joker and Friends as our
Yeah.
next season.
And so you have a great start to the season. The very first game of the season, you 9-0 this upstart team, Bun Bun Bonanza.
Yes,
Yeah. And
yes.
Inky Splash Zone. Woo.
We all
Um,
love Inkies.
and so I think like something that I took away very early on about your team was I didn't expect you guys to pick Yankees ever. I felt like for that entire season you were kind of a team who, yeah, you had like the standard Joker Octavia and the Slop Luna and like the LeoLeon. I don't remember what you were playing then, Centauro.
Whatever I had fun playing. Yeah, it's probably Zun.
Yeah. But there were like some interesting. You were willing to play the newer maps. What, like, all of you folks were players from beta or alpha. What made you like function the way you did? Play Inky Smash Zone multiple times. I think during the
Okay.
season.
I will take full responsibility for any
Okay.
Inky Splash Zone picks because I just like something about Inkies when you're going against like a good team makes it pretty fun because like a lot of people don't really interact with the water in like the air quotes correct way. So going against people who like know how to use water, like Sad Boys is a good example. Like scrimming, scrimming Vaughn and Caleb, like they just have some crazy synergy with the use of the water cannon. And I'm like, okay, wait, this map is pretty like cool and deep. Like you could do a lot of fun stuff with putting water in the core, like just like zoning in space. But yeah, Inkies is like cool when the map and the awakenings aren't annoying. But I think for like the general public, or like whatever, like it can be quite a frustrating map to play, especially because it's just like it has like the Autzen City barrier where like you pop that thing once and it's just really hard to play afterwards as a goalie. Map's pretty big. But yeah, I mean, I think the map is cool.
Yeah.
I think it allows for some really fun goalie midfield combinations and water's dumb but in a fun way. It's not as dumb as like old goo. I hated playing goo. I still
Yeah.
like low-key kind of hate playing goo.
It's a
It's just
not my favorite
It's
map.
a weird map. Yeah, I think Goo's a map where if a team is really good at playing Goo, like they will show it and they will just like bend their will to you. Where if it's even, some BS might happen and you might not be very happy.
Hmm. That's fair. So that season ended up your regular season. I think you got second, right? Um,
Yeah,
then playoffs, really unfortunate. I think on the day, just kind of things didn't go your way. You lost with
yeah.
PKC, bad boys and losers, rough
Yep.
team.
Hey, I mean it happens,
You lost to the
sometimes you
second
play
place and
better
the
when
first
more.
place. So
Yeah, I mean, what better way to lose, right?
Yeah.
like to the people that go to grand finals. Yeah, we're definitely pretty upset. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm at the end of the day, I'm just happy that we're able to like have all these tournaments and like the community's still around. So I don't take it too heavy. Like the hour of it happening, like yeah, I was pretty fucking upset. But nothing some Colombian food can't save.
Ah, sure. um, okay, so now we're finally on to your current season. Or no, no, we're on
Whoa,
to Lob
whoa,
City.
whoa,
Fuck.
whoa, whoa! There's some
Okay.
Lobster City shenanigans to be
Yeah.
talked about.
So yes, this is like interesting to me too because until this moment, you had only played with players who were really old.
Yeah,
Shapeshifting release player, I think, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
He's in chat. He'll tell me if I'm wrong, but
Oh no, he's in
so
chat.
and then also you played with Mystic and later on Killiest,
Yep,
players who are like this was the least
stacked. You
yeah,
can say it. You can
the
say
least
it.
stacked on paper team that you had, the least legacy team, whatever. Um, how was transitioning into this environment where like you were with folks who hadn't really changed, tasted success yet?
Yeah. Well, from what I remember, yeah. Okay, no, from yeah, it literally happened. So like, Shape was our goalie sub for like Cow 2.0 or whatever you want to call it, like
Yeah,
the 3.0, I guess, with Slop and Joker. So I had already played a good handful of games with him, and I really liked playing with him. I liked his vibes. I liked how we're procuring the rock. So I was pretty confident playing with him, and then we had like a three-way like kind of trial with like Mystic, Killiest, and Hamster Quest. But since Killiest had the Party Rockers 2 slot because him and Shape were playing, we like had Killiest as a sub, and then through like games we played with Mystic and Killiest. But like any Whoosies, it was mostly like from what I mentioned earlier. I don't yap, bro. I'm not in the community enough to like do scouting and like find teams. So like whatever ends up happening with me in the seasons is mostly because people reach out to me or I just like
yeah,
find certain people to play. And that's my fault. I'll admit it. I don't have enough time on my hands to like do proper scouting and like be on a really stacked roster. But I I'm pretty happy with how that like okay, I'm not happy with the results of that season. I don't think anyone that's sane will be like, yes, I enjoyed going 0-8.
yeah.
But I will stand by. I had some of the most fun in scrims and in official matches with that roster. I
That's
don't know if
good.
everyone had, yeah, I don't know if everyone had fun on that roster in those games, but like that shit was hilarious. There's so many stupid clips of us just like goofing off in comms or just having like really funny moments or just like laughing. There's a clip of me against the mythical Al Dente when we were
Yeah,
playing against that beast of a man, where I was like, yo, give me the rock, I'll do Leo magic, and I just die like 2 seconds after, and then everyone just starts fucking cracking up in VC. Just stupid moments like that just made that team really fun to play with. Obviously, if we could have at least gotten one win, it would have been nice. But hey, me and Quest Esports share a singular record, and gotta go back to my roots at the end of the day, right?
that's kind of based. I'm really impressed with that connection. Um, so yeah, like it's really cool that you were still able to have fun and like enjoy yourself, even though sometimes like results just don't go your way.
Yeah.
So now we're on to this season, and I think this is the team, the LeoLeon team, that I personally am like most interested in seeing
Mm-hmm.
because you're with Moffin Kobe, who like yeah,
Yep.
shapeshifting release player said he has 20 beta games. But Moffin Kobe is like the release player.
Yes.
That guy's like 15, like maybe 16 now. Kazan player, goalie, and you also have Hook Resets,
Yep.
who beta player, but never really someone who was at the top. He was in NASL with Last Call 2 seasons ago, I think, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess my question is really just like, how did you find this team, or how did they find you, given what you've been saying?
Oh man, yeah, like take a wild guess who got DM'd first.
Hook DM'd you.
Yep, there you
Okay.
go. Ding ding ding. Yeah, so like I was trialing around. Yeah, I trialed like the two main teams that I was like air quotes trialing was gonna be Zoro, Zay and me was like team one. And that fell through because like some freak of nature decided to like destroy a telephone pole outside, landed on a car, not mine, thankfully, and just wiped my power for like 2 days. So, and I missed a scrim block, and then we just like it plans fell through from there. And then I was playing with it was Moffin or not Moffin. I'm sorry. Hook and I were playing, and we were just like trying goalies, and now we're here.
And the team name returned to form. Any specific reason for that?
Oh man. Okay, that was all. So we have a chat somewhere saying like
Okay.
where that came from. I want to say Hook asked someone who was
Was
good
it
at
Breads?
names. It probably was. Yes, yeah, it was Breads. Yeah, it was Breads. Yeah. So asked Breads, and Breads came up with that. I'm pretty sure. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, me being old bozo, going from top tier player to Homestas LeoLeon guy.
You were still hyped up last season a lot.
Okay, yeah, okay. I
And
was hyped up, but like for like the wrong reasons. I was hyped
okay.
up because I was just like I had to like air quote carry the team or like do some funny Leo Leon play to like drag us out of a loss. I don't want to
Yeah,
be I don't want to be the guy that has to carry. You know, I want my teammates to have their own narrative of just not being like the guy that teamed with Leo Leon.
that's
You
fair.
know, so yeah, I mean, who knows what the season has? I love
Yeah.
scrimming. I like vodding. The scrims have been going really well. We were against you guys earlier,
Yeah.
so I've been enjoying my
Oh.
time getting back into the game.
And
Cause yeah,
hmm. Yeah, so like I think something that's interesting for me, I haven't actually asked this during the Lob City section. So I'll ask it now instead. Um, Something that you have become more known for nowadays is your Centauro and your Kazan,
yeah,
which is really cool to me because those are released characters way after when you started.
uh huh.
Why did you get learn them?
All right, this goes back to the ancient X text. So after CECC, I didn't want to just like be like a 1/2 trick because like I was playing like X Julie for the most part, and then like a little bit of Erasmus because I liked fun fact I liked Quincy back when he was Quincy.
Yeah, I remember the
And
LeoLeon Quincy and Prod test.
yep, yeah. So I like playing X and Juliet a lot. Like X, because it's X and no elusive made X really strong, and then Juliet for the pretty much the same reason. Like no elusive just made Julie really strong, and then going against Bells in those old days, Julie mirrors was like so much fucking fun.
Yeah,
It was really fun. It was really really fun. I have no other way to describe it. But yeah, and then going after that, I'm like I want to play some of the new characters and watching specifically Borg and like afterwards a bit like Ignis pick up Zen. Borg at CUCC and then Ignis like later on after launch, like just like seeing all like the fun tech Centauro could do. I was like, okay, wait, this character is pretty dope. And so like I reached out to Borg for both characters, actually. Fun fact. I reached out to Borg to learn more about those two characters, watched a shit ton of VODs to figure out like what can this character do, what can't this character do, what are the good matchups, what aren't, like when should I be doing what. And then I just went from there with doing, funny Leo Leon, stupid core flip dash stuff or, whatever.
yeah.
So yeah, I just think the characters are dope. I like characters that are really mix heavy and have fun tech. I'm old now, so I can't like multi shine, wave shine with
Oh,
Fox anymore. No, I don't
you
got
used
that
to be
gene in
able
me.
to.
Yeah, I used to
That's
be able
insane.
to when I was younger. So like those characters kind of made me feel like that.
Hmm.
So I like gravitating towards like the more tech heavy characters. But now I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with X now recently. So we'll see. We'll see.
Cool.
Zan and Kazan, for the merit of the question, are just fun, open-ended characters you could just do a lot with. I mean, watch any game where this NXZD guy fucking plays Zentaro and you're gonna see something cool every single
True.
time.
And yeah, I mean we're pretty much towards the end of the interview now. You mentioned already like games have been going well with this team. Like you seem to like the vibe. Um, is there anything like in this upcoming landing and then NASL or NASA season, like that you are looking to just kind of have for yourself or like prove?
Uh, well, I'd like to at least get NASL. I think the it isn't NACL or NASL without LeoLeon, blah blah blah,
True.
whatever. It's like I like to at least get it so that I can still enjoy like the competition and stuff. NASA's fine too. I had mentioned like with Streak like way back when that if I ever do get NASA, we'll team, but like it's it's fucking Streak. I don't know if that guy likes the game. I don't know if it's even installed right now in his computer. I just straight up have no idea. So I don't know if that's gonna happen or if I'm gonna stick around with these guys if we go to NASA. But like I want to compete. I don't know how far we could make it, but we'll make it as far as we fucking can, and that's a promise. I'll play my heart out.
That's a good one. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to watch your games, and like you've been mentioning, like the Leo Leon magic, still
Yeah.
real, still fun to watch. And Hook, I think a player who's come into his own recently. I played with him and Play Better Win More. Plays
Yep.
Kai a lot now.
Yep.
Um, he's gonna be your Shianzu,
It's true.
and then Muffin Koei is just like one of yeah, it has a really cool pick.
Dude, that
So
guy does cool stuff.
yeah,
That guy does really cool stuff. I like
um,
watching him play.
I'm definitely. I think your team is one of the ones I'm most excited to watch and lift off. And I guess to end this interview, like, is there anyone you want to shout out? Anyone who's been like important for you and throughout your competitive OS career, or like anything, life in general?
Oof. Well, yeah, let's go with OS. Well, like, yeah, first, like, everyone who's part of the community, like artists, TOs, players, the casuals, everyone, like, people who run the Discord servers, like, literally everyone who, you too, for like doing this and sticking around for so long. You're pretty old too with me.
I am
We've
old
been around.
beta player.
Yep, we've been around for a bit. Yeah, everyone who's played the game, stuck with the game, helps the community. You guys are dope. Appreciate you guys a lot. Um, all the teams I've been on, although everyone I've gone against, like going from like Lumos, Ginger Pop, and Geek to like everyone now, like this is the only game that I've been like tier one, tier two in from like all the games I've played. I've always been like a tier three, tier four guy. Never really able to like break that. So, 15-year-old me is happy that I got to play at like a high level for like whatever game,
I
right?
relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm hype as fuck to have had this experience. Who else? All the collegiate homies from like Overwatch, League, and OS, except for GMU. Fuck those guys. Smiley face.
Poor Wiggly Wobbly.
Oh, you know what? Nah, he's the exception. He's cool.
Oh, okay.
Wiggly Wobbly is dope. Yeah, shout out to those guys. Everyone at lands, I don't talk too much at the lands. I like try to make a bit more of an effort to do it at New York, but like the lands in general have been really fun, and it's cool to put names to faces and just get to like meet everybody. Lands
Yeah.
was really fun. This last New York land was definitely for me my like what's the word? Proving to myself that I'm not washed. Because I was like going into the land, I'm like, okay, if I get like at least top four, I'm happy. Because like the season kind of sucked, and I need to have like something in my name to be happy about. And I'm happy I got to do it with like the old cow guys. And I asked Vaughn, because I respect Vaughn a lot. I was like, Vaughn, I need you to tell me right now in this Airbnb while we're in our pajamas. Like, did I do good? Did I fulfill? And he was like, you know what, yeah, Leo, you did pretty fucking good. I'm like, all right, cool. That's all I fucking needed to hear.
That,
Thank you, boss.
that's like you're asking like your older brother, like,
Yeah.
am I good?
And I was like, am I good, bro? Am I good? He's like, yeah, you're good. You got it.
That's good.
Still got some tricks, old man.
I'm glad Vaughn was able to be there for you in your moment of need.
Yeah, because that guy, like, people say, like, I've been at the top for a while. Like, that guy's been on the top for a while. Like, I mean, come
Yeah.
on. What was the record? Like, they had like 30, 40 something wins in a row with like all the weeklies and everything added. It was like some like really dumb high number.
Yeah.
They just like won everything for like 4 months in a row or something.
That like initial period of weeklies where they just like dominated everything was really crazy.
Yeah, those guys are the
Um
goats.
but yeah, so I meant to ask also really quickly at the end,
Yep.
anything that you wanted to say that I didn't ask?
Hmm. You didn't ask me about all the research that I do in my master's,
Oh,
Lyarri. I put so many hours into all this
oh,
research.
What did you
When
have
you
like
didn't
a
ask me one
thesis?
thing. No, it's just a bunch of like stupid research that I like to do in school. Just like here, I'll throw like the most recent one that I've done. It's a little bit boring, but it was like the okay, I'm trying to like word this in like a normal way.
Okay.
So the the benefit of playing video games to negate negative mental health effects during COVID-19. So it was like a research of like people who play video games during COVID to like how did they deal with their mental health versus someone who didn't play video games. So it was like essentially at the end of the day, it was like, do video games help people with mental health if they have no access to like socialization? And it was like people who were isolated, people who weren't isolated, people who play video games, people who didn't play video games. It was like the um the IV and the DV for the people who know what that means. You could do your own research, and it's not really important to the conversation right now. But like, yeah, I didn't like conduct that study, but like I have like all the frameworks of what I need to do to conduct it because like I gotta get like a shit ton of people to make that study valid.
Yeah.
But like I have like the survey, like I have like the resources to like do it. It's just a matter of actually doing it and then going through all the hoops and ladders of doing it. But yeah. I like
Pretty
the
cool.
research stuff of like my school. Like there's a few like esports related ones that I had like with college students in esports and people who play team games versus single player games and like the mental dynamics between both and relating that to sports. I like psychology, Psychology is pretty
Sounds
cool.
like it.
Yeah.
I know, like
It
for
was
me,
quite fun.
during COVID, I got into platformers, helped me when I
Hmm.
couldn't go outside to touch grass and Mario. So
Yeah.
I relate. But yeah, I think that's everything. Congratulations on by far being my longest interview.
Oh yeah, I'm quite a yapper,
I mean, you
I
have the
will
most
say.
history, so it makes sense.
True.
Might be the oldest person I've interviewed so far.
Oh God, don't say that.
Hey, it's okay. Fresh is gonna beat you soon.
Oh, let's fucking go. Oh man, so funny small story with Fresh.
Okay.
I may have said some not cool things to him when I was heading to the bathroom in our Airbnb in New York. That is between me and him and whoever else wants to hear that story, but let's just say that shit was pretty funny.
I I need to follow up on this later.
It was quite funny.
Okay.
I was tired. I was tired. I'll say it. All
Well,
right.
I guess that's a good note to end on. I'm gonna press the stop recording button. Feel free to say bye. Bye.
Cheers.